Hello and welcome back. It's puzzle time with Sudoku Sleuth, and we are continuing our countdown towards Christmas. Only one puzzle away now. Next one will be on Christmas Day. Now, I will apologize in advance. We are kind of waiting for an engineer to visit the property and help fix the boiler. So I may have to pause this recording at any moment depending on when they do actually arrive. But I'm really looking forward to this particular puzzle. So a few days ago, you may have noticed that Will Power, who's the constructor of this puzzle, left a comment kind of almost like in excitement, looking forward to the solve of this particular puzzle. He mentioned two things. One, that the break-in is extremely difficult. He left a clue that I requested he hides almost like in a hint, so there are no spoilers. I did my best not to read it, so you will see me struggle live as part of this recording. And then the second thing that he mentioned is that this is his highest rated puzzle to date. So I am absolutely looking forward to this. I hope that you guys are as well. And without further ado, let's take a look at what we have in store for today. So, Two Turtle Doves by Will Power. And they're very hard to see, I think. My best guess is that's one dove, and like another one that's sort of overlapping it, and that's sort of wing one, wing two, and then the eyes here with these white dots. Hopefully the rules will, aside from just, showing us where the doves are, also highlight what all these brown lines and yellow lines and blue lines mean. So let's take a look at the rules. We've got normal Sudoku rules apply. So glad that's the case. That means place the digits 1 to 9 in every row, in every column, and in every 3x3 box without any repeats. We have Dutch whispers. So number on yellow lines, which are the bird bodies, so yeah, I did say that correctly, are Dutch whispers, meaning that numbers that are neighbors on the line have to be at least 4 apart. So if I make this a 2, for example, this would have to be 6, 7, 8, or 9. And if that was, let's say, a 9, this would have to be a low digits of 1, 2, 3, 4, although potentially on Dutch whisper lines, 5. So that's the key thing to watch out for, is it doesn't necessarily, like German whisper lines, oscillate between low digits and high digits. It can actually have a 5 on there, and as a result, it can sort of do very weird things to your thinking about it. So watch out for that. We also have RENBAN lines. So the RENBAN lines are the brown lines, which are the bird wings. So that is indeed what I saw. So these lines have to be consecutive without any repeats. They seem to be quite long lines, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So probably another way of describing this is, sorry, I'm just counting, is that these are 9-cell lines that have to have the digits 1 to 9 without any repeats, almost like an extra region, so to speak. So these have the digits 1 to 9, no repeats. What else do we have? We have ratio lines. So numbers on the blue lines, which are the bird beaks and legs. So this one is very clearly the leg. That's the leg as well. And that's, I guess, the beak for this dove, are ratio lines in 2 to 1. So in a way, it's almost like having a black KROPKI dot between these two cells. It's just Will is showing it using a blue line rather than a black dot and sort of in the corner, where sometimes it can be a little bit ambiguous, obviously. If you're not familiar with what I mean by black dots, well, hold on to your horses. This is where I explain those. We have KROPKI pairs. Numbers with a black dot between them are in a ratio of 2 to 1. So, for example, if this is a 2, this has to be something that is in a 2 to 1 ratio. So that could be a 1, or it could also be a 4. As long as one is a double of the other, and that would hold true for the ratio lines, you're all good. Last rule that we have is the killer cage. So numbers in cages each sum to 10. And that is indeed the case. We have tons of 2-cell cages that you can see outlined by this dashed line, and they're all having to sum to 10. So if that was a 2, this would have to be an 8 to make sure that these two cells can actually add up to 10 in this cage. And I don't think I've missed any other variant or twist on the normal rule sets. So if you feel like playing with these doves, or I guess solving this Sudoku puzzle, link in the description down below as usual for you to play along. And with that said, I'm going to restart the clock and see how I get on. So I don't know what Will means by a tough break-in. I have a digit under 10 seconds, that's a 5. I'm pretty sure that's not what he means, but you can immediately place a digit here because a 5 can never go in a 2-cell 10 cage. Otherwise, you would need to repeat the 5, 5, and another 5 to get to 10, and clearly that would break the Sudoku rules. No 5s in this box down here, no 5 in the 10 cages, no 5 on a black KROPKI dot. Otherwise, that would be 2.5 or 10. That's another 5. No 5s here by Sudoku, not in 10 cages. That's another 5. There's a 5 in here. It'd be lovely if I can actually place all the 5s. I don't think it'll be that easy. And it really doesn't seem to be at the moment. There are 5s here in this box on the 3rd row. Box 5, again, plenty of opportunities. And box... But here is something. So box 5, you can see lines up in column 4 and 5, as well as box 8. It lines up as in where the 5s can be. So clearly not in the 10 cages. These are all 5s. Well, not this cell. One of these is a 5. Same is true in here. One of these is a 5, although not on a ratio line. 5 can never be on a sort of black dot, so to speak. Now you can see that the 5s are lining up, and therefore these are not 5s. That is a 5. Remember what I said? Oh, excuse me, that wasn't a 5. And remember what I said earlier about these lines have to have the digits 1 to 9. Where is the 5 on that line? It can only be in here. That's a 5. These are not 5s. Nearly have all of them. Very nearly. So again, you can see this RENBAN line here where it already has a 5 and we can't duplicate it. So Sudoku removes all of these. This RENBAN removes it. One of these is a 5. And then box 9, I mean, it's kind of all over really. It could be any one of these. So I'm not going to pencil mark that. But one of the reasons why I find finding 5s, if you've not seen this, I should probably put a link to it, the office plan puzzle from Willpower. The second that you can place the 5s is immensely powerful when it comes to Dutch whisper lines. Because you can then, with a reasonable amount of confidence, go around and actually color it, knowing what the polarity is as opposed to having it reverse on you. So, for example, this 5 can only ever be surrounded by 1s and 9s. And I know that one would be, I'm going to call them green, because I don't know what they are, and purple. And now, because I've got no 5s on this Dutch whisper line, I've already pencil marked everything that can be in there, I can essentially just oscillate them. All of these are green, these are purple. Obviously, in a 10 cage, you need to have a high digit and a low digit, so they're always going to be opposite polarity. 5's already placed, so this is not a 5. We're continuing the kind of oscillation, so to speak. This can't be a 5 because it's on a ratio. So that is purple, that's green, these are all green. That's back to purple. This has to be green. Remember, in the 10 cage, one of each. That's green, that's purple, and then we're back to green as a finish. So we've got the polarity pretty much for all the cells. Now I said this can't be a 5 because of the ratio line, and because it can't be a 5, it has to oscillate. That's also green. We can finish any 10 cages that we weren't sure of, such as this one is a green, this one will be a purple, and it'd be lovely to know, I guess this is really what Will meant by the break-in. We clearly need to figure out what the colors are to actually make any material progress here. For example, I know that this 5, which I'll give it a nice neutral grey color, is with a purple because I've got a green purple, and to have 4 purples in the box, or 4 low digits or 4 high digits, clearly this has got to be one of them. Right. Where do we go from here? So what I'm doing right now is I'm just sort of inspecting each box to see where is that break-in. And I'll tell you what I'm thinking right now. So like, I'll rule out some very obvious boxes. There's like so little information here. This is not the break-in. Some information, but not enough. I couldn't even color this 10. Plenty of information here, but until I even know colors, it's not the place. So essentially, I'm sort of attracted to this cluster of black dots because I feel like it will have plenty of restrictions to make a break-in possible. The disadvantage of looking here, of course, is that I haven't colored any of these. And that's a little bit unfortunate. So I want to sort of think through something. What I'm thinking is column 2, I have kind of 2 sets of black dots. And if you think about the black dot candidates, that could mean it's 1, 2, and 4, 8. Or it can mean that it's some sort of combination of 1, 2, 4, 8, and a 3, 6. And I kind of want to sort of try and restrict some of these, particularly this looping and this fact that these, yeah, so for example, I'm pretty sure this is not 6, 3. And I'll show you why. Whichever one is a 3, it would have to have a 7 in the 10 cage. And as a result, that would immediately break because a 7 can never be on a black Kropki dot. Otherwise, it will be either a 3.5 or a 14 across from it in that black dot, which clearly doesn't work. So these are definitely not 3 6s. This is some sort of 1, 2, 4, 8 combo that we need to think through. In fact, the other thing that I'm also noticing about column 2 is a lot of the cells have black Kropki dots on them. All right, here is where I'm going to go with this. So remember, just a quick refresher on black Kropki dots. It is essentially powers of 2, 2 to the 0, 2 to the 1, just multiply by 2 each one of these. These can go in black Kropki dots. The other set is 3, 6. And then there is a set of 5, 7, and 9 that can never go in black Kropki dots because the division of that by 2 is a non-integer number, and the multiple by 2 is over 10, 10 or more. 5 times 2 is 10. So when you look at this column, where does 7 and 9 go? And the answer is we know it's none of these cells because they're either a 5 or a black Kropki dot cell. So essentially what we have down here is, up here let's say, is either a 1, 9 or a 3, 7. And then the other one that it isn't, so if that's 3, 7, this would have to be a 9 and that would have to be a 1. If that is 1, 9, this would have to be the 7 and that would be the 3. So the 3 6s are definitely part of these dots somewhere. I just don't know where. I think I kind of need to sort of keep working my way through that. Here, yeah, I've done this mistake before. 10 cages on Dutch whispers are always more restrictive than you may think. I can't put a 6 in here because I would need a 4, and that's definitely not 4 or more apart. So the smallest this can ever, so the 6 cannot be on a Dutch whisper in here. So this is not a 4, 6 pair. This is either 2, 8, 3, 7, or 1, 9, Still quite a few options. But if I think about which ones can actually go on here, so 1, 9 works, 2, 8 unfortunately works, and then 3, 7. If I do 3, 7, that would be 1, 9. But remember, where does the 7 go? I would need a 3, 7 up here, which would break. So I don't think this can be 3, 7. And here, I'll sort of show you what I mean. If that's 3, 7, that forces this to be 9, 9, 1. And then where does 7 go in the column? It can only be in this 10 cage, where it would have to accompany another 3. So this is actually more restricted than it may seem. This is 1, 2. This is not 3, 7. I guess I should include the other possibility, which is 8 and 2. This is a shame. But I think what's interesting about what I just did is that there is no 3, 6. There is no 3, 6 here. We've shown that whichever one is the 3 would need a 7 next to a black KROPKI dot, which it can't be. And we've just shown this is not 3, 6 either, because I can't put either of them in here. 6, 4 would be too close on the Dutch whisper line. And 3, 7 would break because we can't put a 7 in column 2 without repeating the 3. Now, because I have ruled out 3 and 6, essentially what I know is I have a 1, 2 pair or a 4, 8 pair. So this is either 1, 2, or 4, as in this is a 1, 2 pair, or an 8, 4 pair, or, you know, I'll have to look at this 10 cage in a second, but what does this give me? This gives me a 9, 8, or 6, all of which is possible, okay. And then these two have to be the flip side of whatever this is. And it really is looking more like this is 1, 2. If I do 1, 2, then that would have to be 3, 7, and then that would be 9, 1. Yeah. Because essentially with a 1, 2, I've ruled out 1, 9 from up here. So the 9 would have to be down here. That would be the 1. This is severely restricted. Now I want to just sort of see, I think 1, 2 here would be quite tough. Because essentially, oh yeah, it's the same challenge. I don't know why I saw it with the 3, but not with the 1. Whichever one is the 1 up here, it would need a 9 to complete the 10 cage. And then that would immediately break the KROPKI dot. So the 1, 2 is here. And therefore these are 8, 9s. And the 4, 8 is up here. And it's joined with... Yeah, it is 4, 8, so I don't... 6, 2. But that can't be a 2. There you go, that's the break-in, because we already got 1 and 2 pencil marked in here. That's the 6, that's the 3, that's the 4, that's the 8, that's the 2. 1, 2 means that's not 1, 9, this is 3, 7. And therefore this is 9, 1. This is 2, 1. This is an 8, this is a 9. We're off and running. This is either 2 or 8. This is either 1 or 4. It's not 1, I've already placed that. So that's just a straight 4, 6. This is 1, 9. In terms of the order, clearly, on a black KROPKI dot, that's the 1, that's the 9. That has to be the 2 to join the 1 and 4. There's another way of seeing that this is a 2. I've already placed 2 on this RENBAN line. And if I don't place a 2 here, I would have placed a second 2 on the RENBAN line, and that would have broken it. Now we have 7 and 8 in here. 3, 7, and I mean, we now actually even know the colors of this. So this has to be the high digit. That's the 7. That's... No. Rewind. That's the 6. That's the 4. Excuse me. Already have the 7, 8. And to finish, that's the 3, that's the 7, and we have our break-in. Okay, it did take me a while. It's 14 minutes to get here. Not green, this is red. Not purple, this is blue. And we can fill in a whole bunch of digits now. 1, 9. How did I break that? I definitely broke that. Where did I break it? Come on. No. I know I was on the right track. So, because it's 1, 2, I can't have 1, 9 up here. So that definitely has to be the 9. That has to be the 1. So how's that possible? Where did I make the mistake? Because that immediately forces, that can't be the 2. I mean, is the order wrong in here? How did I conclude this? Sorry, I'm going to rewind quite a bit here because I felt like I made a real break-in round about here. So the 4 would be partnered with the 6, the 8 would be partnered with the 2. And this is definitely the 1, 2. I concluded this is the 1, 2 because if this is the 1, 2, the 1 would be partnered with a 9 that would break the black KROPKI dot. So this is clear. This is the 1, 2. Now, because I have 1 pencil marked, this cannot be the 1, 9. This has to be the 3, 7. I think that much is pretty clear. And if that's the 3, 7 up here, this has to be the 9, and the only way to do this would be a 1 in here. So I'm still pretty happy with my conclusion so far. I have a 1, 2 staring at the 2, 6. That's got to be the 6. That's got to be the 3. I have a 1 here. That's got to be the 2, the 8, the 9, the 1. Maybe I didn't have the correct order in here around the 4s and 8s. I jumped too quickly to a conclusion, perhaps. Maybe. Let's think about this. Excuse me. If that's a 2, this would be a 4. If that's a 6, that would be a 3. So it's clearly not a 6. That's 2. And it can't be the 1 because I've already placed it. That's the 4. That's the 8. That's the 4. It hasn't changed anything. And then we're back to it's either 2 or 8. And again, that same logic about the RENBAN line still applies. I haven't changed anything there. That's a 6. That's a 7 to complete the column. Have I just colored these incorrectly? That's the other possibility. I didn't oscillate them correctly. Green, purple, and it has to flip across the 5. I don't think I made a mistake there. And yeah, that has to change color because there is no 5s on anywhere. Oh, yes, I did make a mistake in the coloring there. 2 greens. So everything I just did, I'm so sorry about this. Everything I just did was correct. It was elsewhere that I had the problem. That's frustrating. Sorry about that. That would be the 6, the 4, and then to finish in here, the 3. And then to fix these colors, excuse me. Yeah, that's correct. And that's purple. That's green. These are purple. Purple. I mean, I may as well have gone for the right colors now. Purple, purple, green. And now I said green is red, purple is blue, and we're good. Yeah, that looks correct. Ouch. Wow, that's cost me another 4 or 5 minutes. Sorry. Let's keep going. Right, this is not 1, 9. This is not 2, 8. It's on a Dutch whisper line, so this has to be, oh, yep, has to be a 7-3. 7, 3, 6, 4, 4 with a high ratio. That's got to be the 8. Let's see if we can finish this a bit more quickly now, make up for lost time. This is a potentially 2, 8. Yeah, that's the only 2 digits that are left. That's 8, that's 2, that's 8. That's a ratio, that's 4, that's 7, gives me the 8, the 7. 3, 7, not sure. Dutch whisper, well, that 2 is available. This is not 4, 6, nor 2, 8. This is either 1, 9, and it's not 3, 7, otherwise that would break this cell. That's just 1, 9. This is a high digit, which is between, well, it doesn't matter, it could be 6. So one option is 6 and 4. That's the other option. And then 6 and 4 will give me 3 and 7 because of that ratio, with 5 and 8 in here. And in fact, that has to be the 5 and 8 because the 2 is the only one that's not pairing up with anything. And that has to be the 3, 6 because they're on essentially black KROPKI dots. So that is 6 and 4, 3, 7. Come on, let's keep it going. This is not 1 or 4, this is 2 or 3. We have a 5, 8 in here, and this is at least 2, 3, or 7 to complete the row. We should have thought about this black KROPKI dot. What are these to finish them? 3, 6. This 3 tells me the order. That's 3, that's 6. Doesn't actually, well, it kind of helps me. That's not a 3. What is this? That's not 4, 6. That's not 3, 7. And it's not 2, 8. This is 1, 9. That gives me a 2 in here. That gives me the 3 there, the 7 here, the 3, the 2. Come on, we're catching up. Well, I say catching up. We're trying to make up for the lost time. 1, 2, 3. I need 4, 5, 6. I need 7 and 8. That's the 7. That's the 8. Of course, because of this 8. This 4 is in here. And this is a 9. This is a 6 in this box. I need a 5 and a 7, which are not resolved just yet. This is a low digit that is not 1, 3, or 4. It can only be a 2. This 10 cage, what can it be? It's not 2, 8. It's not 3, 7. It can be 4, 6 with a 4 and 6. And it can't be 1, 9 because it would break the cell. That's the 6. That's the 4. We probably can use this RENBAN actually. So I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. I need a 7, and it's not in these cells, and it's not this cell because of this 7. That's a 7. I need 1, 2, and 9 to finish it. This 2 tells me this is the 2, this is the 1, 9. I should be able to just write this digit in with an 8, a 5, and 8. What are these? 3, 5? Yeah, 3, 5. Come on, at the finish line now. Have I really not resolved these 1, 9s? Nope. Let's see what else I need in here. I need another 1, 9, obviously. 2, 3, 4, 5. Ouch, not resolved. So this could, the 1, 9 tells me that's the 5. That's got to be the 1, 9, but it's now a 9 because there is a 1 in here. That's 7, that's 5. 9 gives me the 1, the 9, the 1, the 9. And Sudoku to finish. I need a 1 in this box, can only be in here. A 3. I need a 4, which is there. A 6, which is here. And then if I've not made any mistakes, 7 and the finish to today's puzzle. It is a phenomenal puzzle, Will. I agree, it is amongst your best. I don't think the break-in was that tough. I think it's probably, it's you know, I made that comment before about confidence. You know, you're coming in here expecting a much more difficult puzzle based on the comments, and then you take a look and you proceed with caution. Although I say with caution, I still made an extremely silly mistake here with the coloring of this Dutch whisper line. But outside of that, the rest of it was just phenomenal. highly approachable. I'm even trying to remember. Yeah, the 5s were obvious. That was the place to start. Then as soon as you can actually do that, and particularly when you place a 5 on a Dutch whisper line, you can start adding in some colors. You can place in the 1/9s. The 5s not being on Dutch whisper lines allows you to sort of color it with some assertiveness and confidence. Let me just do that. And back to this wonderful break-in. Not seeing that this is not 3/6 is hard. And then seeing that this is the 1/2, once you get to the 3/6, becomes a trivial step. But like I said, phenomenal puzzle. Hope that you guys enjoyed the video, as well as the puzzle, of course, and see you back on Christmas Day. Hope that you're having a lovely Christmas Eve. See you soon. Bye for now.